Right. Hi guys, good evening. This is Professor Rajam Kamit. We're going to have this session divided into two parts. So here we're going to discuss about uh, the mathematics, which is kind of not a true mathematics. It's actually a statistical thing which is required for getting your basics clear for the purpose of preparing yourself for the CFA. Many people believe that it's a mathematics and that's a kind of very difficult subject to understand, especially those students from the commerce background have kind of this fear that will I be able to manage CFA? I'm little weak in maths. uh, Probably they relate themselves to the science students, and maybe they kind of have this uh, I would say a notion that the maths is very difficult and maths is a must thing for CFA, and hence CFA would be something which I can't manage. So first of all, CFA में maths नहीं है, it's a statistics things, and that too with a weightage of 10%. So weightage of statistics, the quantitative techniques, not actually statistics, quantitative techniques or cons has a weightage of 10% in the CFA exam. Uh, I had given you an introduction about the CFA subjects, and in that I have spoken in detail about cons. But still, let me just give you an introduction about cons, not mathematics, which is required for the CFA. First chapter. Let me just put it on the screen. The first chapter is called as time value of money, which in simple term is nothing but simple interest rate, compound interest rate, PNR. Remember your simple interest rate, principal into number of years into rate, or compounded rate of interest, which is P into 1 plus R raised to N. Okay. But how do you do that on the calculator? We are going to discuss that in today's lecture. Okay. So that's the first chapter. Time value of money, you're going to find it very, 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 very easy. Just that you have to understand how to do those calculations on the financial calculator. Second chapter is about statistics, right? Stats. In this chapter, we are going to learn about the mean, the mode, the median, okay? Which kind of summarizes the complete data. The complete data is summarized by the mean that is called as your average, something that is a mode, the number which repeats with maximum frequency, median, which is something called as 50 percentile number, which divides the data into two half. Then there's something called as standard deviation, which some of you might have heard, some of you may not have heard. That's okay. Okay, so all this calculation and then few graphs, which I believe every one of you would have seen these graphs like this, buildings like this. It's called as bar charts in your Excel, but truly they are called as histograms. Truly in our school days it used to call as histograms. Like there was a graph paper. I think most of you would have gone through that exercise, a graph paper, and then with a scale you draw draw those buildings. So those were called as histograms. Excel has given them a new name called as bar charts. Okay, so how do we make histogram? We have seen in school days. How do we analyze the histograms? Something called as frequency, polygon, line charge, etc. That would be covered in this chapter. Again, quite easy chapter. Third chapter is a chapter probably where some of the commerce students may have a eyebrow raiser. That is probability. Yes, it's the chapter which is kind of not that easy, but not that difficult also that you might be thinking. The major problem with the probability in school days or in college days was that it was associated with cards, it was associated with dices, card, dice, etc. But this probability, which we are going to cover over here, is about the financial probabilities, but probability related to economics, probability related to finance. So what is the chance that company may default? What is the chance that company may not default? What is the chance that economy comes out of recession? What is the chance that economy goes into recession? What is the chance that stock market will go up if economy comes out of recession? What is the chance that stock market comes out of, stock market zooms up in case even if the economy doesn't go up? These are the kind of probabilities that you're going to see. So they are related to the real world. So you are going to have a little difficulty. I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk like a first two chapter. The TVM, time value of money and stats, it's not going to be that cakewalk, but it's not going to be that difficult also that you might have a notion in your mind. Okay, next chapter is about Z table, etc. So some distributions, Z table, T table, etc. Which right now you may believe that this is very tough. Z table, T table, etc. are very tough. However, they are actually quite easy. Once you know okay, how to use that Z table, then it is quite easy. Okay. Right now I can't tell you anything about it unless I walk you through across the Z table. So let's move on to the next. Next one is again a topic which could be little easy, sampling. Sampling is a process where you have a very big population where each and every member of the population cannot be reached. For example, if I look at India's population, 137 crore. Such a huge population. If I want to calculate average age of Indians, so if I want to calculate average age of Indians, I have to approach each of the 137 crore Indians. And it's not possible for at least me at a personal level capacity to reach out to each and every 137 crore Indians and ask for their age. So what does the statistics methodology do? So a person who in doing the analysis, he will take a sample out of a big population. That sample is drawn in such a way that the members of the sample represent the members of the population. I repeat, the sample is drawn in such a way that the members of the sample represent the population. Okay, so how do we take out the sample? What will happen if the members of sample aren't representing the population? Then the conclusion will go haywire. So all that analysis is covered in the sampling. Again, one of the very easy chapters. Okay. After that easy chapter comes a little, not little, quite a difficult topic called as hypothesis testing. Hypothesis. I think everyone knows about the word hypothesis and what is the difference between hypothesis and conclusion. Okay, anyone? What's the difference between a hypothesis and conclusion? Simple in English meanings. This is the hypothesis, this is the conclusion. What's the difference between that? This is the hypothesis, this is the conclusion. Anyone? Just raise hand, I'll enable your audio. Ashmita, what's the difference between a hypothesis and a conclusion? Okay, Haider?
Yes, hypothesis is an assumption made on the certain results or
Good.
any data which is available, and
Good.
conclusion is like we have got the result with the fact.
Good. See, hypothesis is not just the assumption. So basically, you analyze the sample that you are taken out of population. Okay, you couldn't analyze the complete population because it was too huge. So you took a sample and hopefully the members of the sample are representing the members of the population. Okay, so that was sampling. Now comes the next step, that you analyze the sample, and based on that analysis of the sample, you make a conclusion about population. Now this conclusion about the population would be true only and only if the sample is properly representing the population. But if there was an error in drawing of a sample, if the sample is not representing the population correctly, then this conclusion that you have drawn about the population by analyzing the sample, that conclusion will be wrong. So you took a sample, analyzed it, and based on that analysis, you are trying to make conclusions about population. Those conclusions about population would be true only and only if the sample that you have taken was a proper representative of the population. If it wasn't, then the conclusion that you are concluding are null and void. So the conclusions that you are making about the population, you are not sure about it. That would be right only and only if the sample is a proper representative of population. If it is not, then your conclusions are not right. And hence they are not called as conclusion, they are called as hypothesis. And in this chapter, we'll be analyzing those hypothesis statements that you are making, conclusions that you are making about population. We'll be analyzing, and then we will call it whether those conclusions were true or not true. Okay, so hypothesis testing is about testing of those hypotheses, testing of those statements, testing of that conclusion that you are mentioning about population by simply analyzing the samples. So whether those conclusions are correct or wrong, that would be analyzed in this chapter. A kind of not that easy chapter, little tricky chapter. So only two tricky chapters. Apart from that, you're going to enjoy this subject. This one is easy, this one is easy, this one is easy, this one is easy. This one and this one, they are little bit tricky chapters. Okay, so this was the introduction of the subject. Overall, there are 180 questions that you will be tested in the CFA exam. 180 questions will come from 10 subjects. One of them is cons, and cons has a weightage of 10%. That means out of 180 questions, 18 questions would be coming from these topics that we just discussed right now. The 6 topics that we discuss, उसमें से 18 question आने वाले, 18 questions will be coming from the syllabus of the cons. There is no subject-wise minimum score required from each subject. So people ask me, sir, 18 में से कितना आना है? Okay, there is no minimum subject-wise score from each subject required. Overall score matters. So overall 180 में से approximately around 115 is a decent score to pass the exam. Minimum, there is no score required from each subject. Overall minimum score is around 115. You get beyond that, almost certain that you will pass the exam. Okay, before I start, any quick questions you want to ask, just raise hand, I'll enable your audio. Not necessarily either per topic, 2 questions is 18 questions from 6 topics. So on an average, 3 questions per subject. I'm sorry, 3 questions per topic, but not necessarily. Sometimes there could be more questions from one topic, lesser questions from other topic. He just asked me 18 questions divided into 6 topics. So will it be like 18 by 6, 3 questions from each topic? Not necessarily. It could depend. If examiner wants to test more questions on the TVM, he can ask more questions on the TVM. Or no questions about syllabus, etc. You want me to tell you the difficulty across 0 to 10 about this subject of cons? It's approximately around 6 to 7. Okay, on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the most difficult, this is somewhere around 6 to 7. All right, I hope everyone has a financial calculator, either the main one or the one on the mobile app. So let's go for it. So first, I'm gonna get your hands on the easy things of the calculator, which is about time value of money. Okay, so let's take a quick example. This is what you're gonna find it very, very easy. Okay, next 15-20 minutes, you're gonna find it very, very easy because it's about simple interest rate and compound interest rate. But obviously at the end, you are going to see some good thing which you may not have seen. Some of you would not have, most of you wouldn't have seen that, which is called as, okay, I'll tell you in a while. Okay, so let's say that I have a principal of 10,000 rupees, which I want to invest for a period of 5 years. And bank is offering an interest rate of 10%. 10% means 10% per annum. But simple interest rate. Now, in today's world, banks don't offer simple interest rate. They offer compounded interest rate, and mostly it's quarterly compounding that banks offer. Let's assume that bank is offering a simple interest rate. Then how much interest will I get in 5 years? And what would be my principal grow to? So my principal is 10,000. The question is, how much interest will I get? Very simple. For a simple interest rate, we know from the school days that simple interest rate is calculated as P into N into R. Principal is 10,000. N is 5 years. So N is 5 years and R is 10%. Okay, so let's do it on the calculator. Okay, so 10,000 into 5 into 10%. So let me do it. 10,000 is 10,000 into 5 into 10%. The interest is going to be 5,000. Okay, principal will remain 10,000 as it is. So the final value at the end of 5 years, would be this 10,000 original and this interest of 5,000. So the final value becomes 15,000. Okay, I believe it would be like a cakewalk. It would be very easy, but still I'm asking, any doubts? Please let me know if you have any doubts. Just raise hand. I'll enable your audio. समझा ये काफी easy है. Any doubts over here in the calculation, etc.? Okay, just quickly let me know whether the concept is clear or not. Quickly taking a poll and writing another question also. I have a principal of 20,000, which I'm going to invest for a period of 8 years, and bank is offering interest rate of 6%. per annum, simple interest rate, how much would be my final value at the end of 8 years? Okay. How will you do it? Simple. Take the simple interest rate would be principal into N into R. So principal is 20,000, N is 8, and R is 6%. Okay, quickly let's do it. 20,000 into 8 into 6%. The interest would have been 9,600. Added that to the principal. So 9,600 plus 20,000, the final value would have been 29,600. Okay. Banks started moving from simple interest rate to compounded interest rate somewhere in around 1995. So in 1995, Indian banks started to move from simple interest rate to compound interest rate as per the direction of RBI. Please understand, our banks were always charging compounded interest rate while giving the loan. So while granting the loan, they were charging compounded interest rate, but while giving the interest to the depositors, they were giving simple interest rate. So RBI directed them that if you are charging compounded interest rate to your loan, on your loan to your borrowers, then you should also give compounded interest rate to your savers, to your depositors. Okay, so what's special with the compounded interest rate? Suppose I make a 3-year ka deposit. So in the first year, whatever interest I get, that interest would be added to the principal. Okay. So in the second year, the interest that I will be getting would not only be on the principal, but principal plus interest of the first year. So interest of the first year gets added to the principal, and on the increased principal, the interest of second year would be calculated. In simple interest rate, this was not so. In simple interest rate, the interest for the first year, the interest for the second year, the interest for the third year, each year ka interest was calculated based on the original principal. In compound interest rate, it completely changed the story, where interest of the first year was added to the principal and the principal was increased, and on that increased principal in the second year, the interest was calculated. Okay, then second year ka interest was also being added to the principal, and for the third year, the interest would be calculated on P plus I1 plus I2. Principal plus interest for year 1 and interest for year 2 together, जो increased principal है, that increased principal पे the interest for third year used to be is being calculated. Okay, so with that you can get an idea that interest will keep on increasing. Second year ka interest is calculated based on principal plus I1. Third year ka interest is calculated on principal plus I1 plus I2. Okay, so as principal keeps on increasing, the interest in the subsequent years will keep on increasing. Okay, so let's see, how do we get the compounded interest rate? Many of us will know the formula. It's P into 1 plus R is to N. So let me explain that. So let me go back to the previous example. Okay, so in this case, if the bank is not going to offer simple interest rate, if they're going to offer compounded interest rate, then let's see what happens. In that case, for the compounded interest rate, the formula that we have is not the formula for simple interest. Over here, the formula is PNR. That's the formula for interest. We add that to the principal to get the final value. But in the compound interest rate, the formula is for the final value directly. So in the compound interest rate, let me just put it over here. So in the case of compounded interest rate, the final value is equal to P into 1 plus R raised to N. So directly get a final value over there. Principal is 10,000 into 1 plus R, R is 10%, and raised to N, that is raised to 5 years. Please note, this is not a formula for the interest, this is the formula for the final value directly. Okay, so let's try to calculate final value. P into 1 plus R raised to N. P 10,000, R this 10%, that's I am putting over here, and N is 5, that's I am putting it over here. Okay, so let's try to do it on the calculator. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this 10%. Okay, let me take the calculator. Please do the steps as I'm doing it. Okay, so please press 10. Okay, that's 10. Press percentage. Okay, let me know if you guys are done or if you're stuck somewhere. I repeat, press 10. Press percentage. Okay, so 10% done. Uske aage hai +1. So I'm going to press +1 now. Okay, and then press equal to. I repeat, I'm starting with 10%. So I'll go back, I'll clear the memory. So I'm pressing C, or I can press on off like this. Okay, so 10% +1 equal to, so that's 10% +1. Now you have to do raised to 5. So we did 10% +1. Now you have to do raised to 5. So on the calculator, when you have to do raised to 5, you're doing this raised to 5. Then what you need to do is you have to press this button जो 9 के ऊपर है, called as y to the power x. So please press that button, y to the power x. Display में कोई change नहीं हो रहा है, but calculator has noted that you have pressed y to the power x. That is raised to. Okay, so raised to 5 equal to. Everyone that's got this answer, please raise hand if you got this answer 1.6105. Please raise hand if you got that answer 1.6105. Just want to see how many people have got that answer. Okay, Ayush, Abhishek, Ashmita, Atul, Dev, Jinal, Pooja, Praveen, Redmi, I don't know your name. Sejal, you had a trouble. Ashmita, you are having a trouble, or you could get it. Ashmita, Abhishek, Dev, Jinal, Praveen, Redmi,
So
Sejal.
it's working fine.
Sir, only 2 digits, 1.6.
That's fine. That's fine. But you got the 2 digits, but it's right, right?
Yeah.
Getting okay, good. Abhishek, did you get it?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah. Did you get 1.61 or 1.6105?
It's 1.6. Just a minute. I'm having some trouble with that.
Okay, I'll help you out one more time. Look at it on the screen. 10% +1 equal to.
Okay.
Raised to, y to the power raised to 5 equal to. Did you get this 1.6105?
Yeah.
Okay, Ashmita, did you get it?
Yeah, I've got it.
Jinal?
Yes.
Praveen?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Sejal? Sejal, you're not audible, so maybe we can put that in the chat. Satya, unmute button will come when I enable you. So let me enable you. So now you'll be able to speak. So when you have to ask something, just raise hand. Okay, Satya, you want to ask something?
No, sir. So
basically you have to raise hand once you, if you have doubt or something, just raise hand so that I can enable you. All right. Redmi, I don't know your name, but I hope did you get it? All right, fine, no problem. Then finally, then get you 1.61, then just multiply it by 10,000. So final, now multiplied by 10,000. So into 10,000. So the final value would be 16,105. Okay. And how much did you invest? You invested 10,000. So 10,000 has increased to 16,105. So from 16,105, you can subtract 10,000 and then you will get to know the interest is 6,105. So in the simple interest rate, the interest was 5,000, but in the compounded interest, the interest is coming to 6,105. Okay. The original principal is subtracted from 16,000. So 16,000 minus 10,000 is coming to 6,105. Let's try to do it for this example, the second example. Okay. So final value would be equal to the principal into 1 plus r raised to n. The principal is 20,000 into 1 plus, okay, let me just write niche, because the calculator will come there, into 1 plus, let's see r is 6%. Okay, and raised to n, how many years? 8 years. Okay, so raised to 8. The simple interest rate that was calculated earlier, let's see that how much was it? I don't recollect. I think it was 9,600, I believe. Yeah, 29,600 minus 20,000. So it was 9,600 earlier. Final value minus this, so it was 9,600 earlier. So let's see the compounded interest rate now. So let's get the calculator. Okay, first I'm gonna start with this 6%. Let me start with 6%. So 6 and percentage. Okay, step 1. Step 2 plus 1. Okay, equal to. So you got that bracket done. 1.1 plus 6%, 1.06 bracket done. Raise to. You're doing raise to. So press y to the power x raise to. Raise to 8 equal to, and then press into 20,000. The final value is coming to some 31,877. Final value is 31,877. Okay, and from that you subtract your principal. Remember your principal? This was the principal 20,000. So from 31,877 you subtract your principal, you get to know the interest. The interest is 11,877, much higher than 9,600. Okay, please raise hand if you could do it. I would like unmute you if you had struggled. So if you could do it without any struggle, please raise hand, please. Ayush, Atul, Dev, Elston. If you could do it, please raise hand. I want to see whether you could do it. Sanat, Urvi, Dhairya, Rohit, could you do it? Raise hand if you could do it. Satya, could you do it, Satya? Abhishek,
Yes, sir.
Rohit, Abhishek, Dev. Let me know, guys, could you do it? Just unmute yourself and let me know, could you do it? Satya, did you do it?
Yes, sir. I did.
Okay. Abhishek, could you do it? Rohit, Abhishek, Dev. Guys, unmute. Please talk to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Done that.
Please raise hand next time. If you could do it, just raise hand so that I get to know that you could do it. Rohit. Okay, he's not answering. Dev. Okay, Dev is also, okay, Dev is mentioning
Yes,
in the
sir.
chat section. Yeah, Dev, could you do it?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Please raise hand, guys, after you're done. Okay, Rohit also could do it. Okay, good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the practical thing that banks do. So in practice, bank do compounding, but they do quarterly compounding. They don't calculate annual interest and then add it to the principal. They calculate interest for each quarter, add that quarter ka interest to the principal, increase the principal, then on the increased principal, they give the interest for the second quarter. Second quarter का जो interest होगा वो वापस principal में add किया जाएगा. Again principal would be increased, and then on the increased principal they give the interest for the third quarter. Third quarter का interest would be calculated. Again it would be added to the principal, and on the increased principal the fourth quarter का interest would be calculated. So in India, banks follow quarterly compounding, not annual compounding. So what happens when the compounding frequency, which we have taken annual over year का interest calculate किया था, बाद में उसको principal पे add किया था. If that annual compounding, that is concept of calculating interest for a year, adding it to the principal, and then calculating interest for the second year, if that is changed to calculating the interest for quarter, adding it to the principal, and then calculating the interest for the next quarter, if that is changed, then obviously as the compounding frequency increases, you could get a feeling, you could get a conclusion that the interest that you're going to get will increase. Okay. So as the frequency of compounding increases, the interest that you're going to get will increase. We'll prove that mathematically also, but logically you can get it that if for the entire year, the interest was paid only at the end of the year, instead of that, if the interest is paid quarterly, it's added to the principal, and then on the increased principal, second quarter ka interest is being calculated. Then with that, obviously the interest amount that customer will receive will increase. Let's see that. Okay, so let's say bank you're opening a deposit of 10,000. Bank is offering an interest rate of 12%. Nowadays, though banks don't offer such a high interest rate. But let's say a theoretical example where bank is offering an interest rate of 12%, and let's say you are going to have it for 5 years. You're going to have a 5-year FD. Okay. Initially, let's take a case of annual compounding only, like the same thing we have been doing right now. So let's calculate the final value, and based on that, let's calculate the interest. So you know how to do it. So please do it on the calculator. Let's see how many of you could do it without my help. Final value would be equal to principal 10,000 into 1 plus r raised to n. All right, this is the final value. Based on that, we'll get the compounded interest by subtracting the principal. 10,000. Once you're done, guys, if you're trying to go ahead of me, go ahead, but just raise hand after you're done. Principal 10,000 into 1 plus r, that is 1 plus 12% raised to n, that is raised to 5 years. Let's calculate that quickly. 12%, say we are gonna start with 12%, then gonna add 1. So let me do that. 12% plus 1. Put it like this, okay? 12 percentage plus 1 equal to 1.12 raised to, so that's raised to ka button, raised to 5, okay, equal to, and then multiply it by 10,000 into 10,000. Okay, so into 10,000. So that's 17,623. Subtract the principal of 10,000. The compound interest is 7,623. Okay, let me take a quick poll. Could you do it before me, or were you doing along with me? How many of you could do it on your own? So wanted to check that. Just answer the poll, please. Okay, most of you have nailed it on your own. Okay, wonderful. So most of you have nailed it on your own. Wonderful. Some of you took my help while doing it. That's okay. So now comes a new part where you fight with a bank and say that every bank is offering a quarterly compounding. We also want a quarterly compounding. We don't want annual compounding. We want a quarterly compounding. So let's see how to change this formula for quarterly compounding. I'll write the formula exactly as it is. P into 1 plus r raised to n, exactly 10,000. That's P into 1 plus r. R is 12% and raised to n, that is raised to 5 years. Okay, and now we will do the quarterly compounding adjustment. Okay, in a year, there are how many quarters? Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. I'm not asking in one quarter how many months are there. I'm asking how many quarters are there in the year. Jan to March, 1 quarter, April to June, 2nd quarter, July to September, 3rd quarter, October to December, 4th quarter. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. There are 4 quarters. So what we'll do, we will divide this 12%. We'll divide this 12% by 4. Okay, I repeat, we'll divide this R by 4. Why 4? Because in a year, there are 4 quarters. And we'll divide this by 4 and then we'll multiply this by 4. So basically the R will get divided by 4 and N got multiplied by 4. So this was the R which got divided by 4 and this was the N which got multiplied by 4. That's the change that would be there. So let's try to do it. 12% divided by 4. Let me start with that. 12% divided by 4. We know it's 3%, so we can do it directly. 12% by 4 is 3%. Then plus 1. Okay, so 12% by 4. So that's 3%. Then do plus 1 equal to raised to. Now I think everyone knows the table. 5 4s are 20. So raised to 20 equal to, I repeat, 12% by 4, that's 3%, plus 1 equal to, then raised to, 5 4s are 20, so I can press 20, equal to, and then into 10,000. So the final value is 18,061. From that, subtract the principal of 10,000. So now the compounded interest, which is quarterly compounded interest, is 8061. Look at it, compared to 7623 is coming out to be higher. So quarterly compounded interest is coming to 8061 higher as compared to 7623, which was coming earlier. How many of you got that 8061 on your own? Please let me know in the poll. I mean, on your own, matlab after I told you the formula. So divide R by 4 and multiply N by 4. If you are marking it as last option where you are mentioning it's still not understood, please raise hand. I'll enable your audio. I repeat, if you're marking it as option number 4, ki no sir, still not understood, please raise your hand. Yes, Jinal. Yeah, Jinal, let me know. Sorry? Did you get to know the revised formula ki R is divided by 4 and N is multiplied by 4?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's see how to do it. Okay, just see on the screen, Jinal. I'm just getting the calculator. You're doing it on the calculator, right?
Right.
Okay, so first step would be this 12% upon 4. What is 12% upon 4?
Three.
3%. Okay, so press 3%. Done. Say yes or no after.
Yes.
Please say yes or no.
Yes. Yes.
Please be louder. 3% done.
Yes.
Okay, then do +1. Done.
Yes.
Okay, raise to
Yes.
5 fours are
Yes.
louder, please.
20.
Why raise to 5 fours are
20.
20. So press raise to 20.
Yes.
Did you get 1.8061?
Yes.
Then do into this 10,000. Look at it into 10,000. So do into 10,000. Did you get this?
Yes. Yes.
From that, subtract the principal, which is 10,000.
Yeah. Done.
Got 8061?
Yes.
All right, good. Okay. In some countries, the banks are very, very customer friendly, where they offer monthly compounded interest. In India, there are hardly any banks who offer monthly compounded interest, but yes, there are some countries outside India who offer monthly compounded interest. So let's see. If the interest was monthly compounded, then what will happen? So what will happen if the compounding is monthly? We're using the same formula. The final value is equal to principal. Principal was 10,000 into 1 plus R. R was 12%, and raised to N, it was a 5-year FD. Okay, so raised to 5. Last time it was quarterly compounding. So I ask you, in a year, how many quarters are there? Last time it was quarterly compounding. So I ask you, in a year, how many quarters are there? This time it's monthly compounding. So I'll ask you, in a year, how many months are there? Jan, Feb, March, April to December. In a year, there are 12 months. So in this case, the R would be divided by 12 and N would be multiplied by same 12. Okay, so in this case, that R would be divided by 12 and this N would be multiplied by 12. Okay, so let's do it. 12% upon 12. 12% upon 12, that's 1%. Then there is +1. Okay, I'll repeat. 12% upon 12, that's 1%. Then there is +1. Press equal to. Then press raised to. 5 12s are 60. So raised to 60. Okay, and then press into 10,000. Into principal. The final value this time is 18,167. And from that, subtract the principal of 10,000. The monthly interest is 8167. The monthly compound interest is 8167, which is higher than 8061, which you got in the quarterly compounding. Okay, I'll repeat the calculation. 12% upon 12. 12% upon 12. This 12% upon 12 is 1%. +1 equal to raised to 5 12s are 60. Okay, and then into 10,000. Okay, so this is the final value. From that, subtract the 10,000, and this would be your interest 8167. So quick poll, could you do it on your own, or you were taking my help, or haven't understood at all? Let me know in the poll. If you haven't understood, just mark the option 4 and raise your hand so that I can enable you. Atul, is it clear? Atul?
Yeah, sir. It's clear. Yeah.
Yes, Dev?
Sir, in countries there are hardly 1 or 2, there are negative interest rates.
Where?
Hardly, if I don't know, hardly if you 1 or 2.
No, I'm not getting you. Come again.
Sir, in 1 or 2 countries.
So there are countries where negative interest rate hai. So you're asking like, is it possible to have negative interest rate?
So, sir, what to do if there is negative interest rate?
We'll talk about it. Don't worry, we'll talk about it. Don't worry, we can use the same formula with a negative interest rate.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Yes, Satya. Did you get it? You have raised hand.
No, sir, I did it.
Achha, you got it. Okay, fine. Ashish, you have raised hand. Any doubts? Ashish?
Yeah, done. Hello.
Done? You have any doubts?
Hello. Yeah.
All right, good. Okay, I repeat, I'll be taking a poll. So if you have not understood, then raise hand. I know I'm just changing it. Previously, I said if you're done, raise hand. I'm just changing it. If you couldn't do it, if you have doubts at that time, raise hand. We'll just change it. We'll use the concept of the poll, which is a little better. Okay. Suppose hypothetically, bank offered you daily compounding. No bank in the world offers daily compounding. Okay, practically it's not offered, but yes, it could be offered. It's not it's not impossible to offer daily interest rate. So let's say if bank is offering daily interest rate, what would have happened? So daily compounding. Okay, so now daily compounded interest. So we'll be using the same formula. The final value would be equal to principal, which is 10,000, into 1 plus R, that was 12%, and raised to N, that is 5 years. The same formula, principal 10,000 into 1 plus R, that's 1 plus 12%, and raised to N, that's raised to 5 years. Now, for quarterly compounding, I ask you how many quarters are there in a year? You said 4. So 12% divided by 4 and 5 was multiplied by 4. For monthly compounding, I ask you how many months are there in a year? The answer was 12. So R 12% was divided by 12 and N5 was multiplied by 12. So now you can know the question, what the question would be. In a year, how many days are there? I know some years have 365 days, some years have 366 days, but let's take it 365. So in a year, there are 365 days. So R would be divided by 365 and N would be multiplied by 365. So let me go back. Okay. This R 12% would be divided by 365. So let me divide this by 365 and N would be multiplied by 365. Okay. R divided by 365, N multiplied by 365. Before going ahead, just raise hand if your calculator has only 2 decimals. I would want your calculator to have at least 4 decimals. Raise hand if your calculator is having 2 decimals. I will tell you how to convert that 2 decimals to 4 decimals. So all people who are having 2 decimals on the calculator. So if I show my calculator, so my calculator has 4 decimals. You can see it 0.9670. So if your calculator is having 2 decimals, please raise hand. Dev, Neil, Atul. Anyone else who is having 2 decimals on the calculator? No. All right, fine. So Dev, Neil, and Atul, press second. Press second. Press dot. What do you see? DC equal to 2. Atul, what are you saying after you press second and dot? You have to press second and dot. What do you see?
Sir, 2.
Okay, so now press 4 and press enter. Okay, and then press on off. Now you can see the 4 decimals. I repeat, Dev, for you, second.
Yes, understood it.
Dot.
Yeah.
4, enter, and then press on off.
Yes, I got it.
Good. Atul, did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I hope everyone now has 4 decimals on the calculator. Wonderful, good. So let's do 12% divided by 365. So let's do it 12% divided by 365. So 12%, okay, divided by 365 equal to, I repeat, 12% divided by 365 equal to, then do this plus 1. So I'm going to do that plus 1 now. So look at it. There's a plus 1 outside it. So I'm going to do this plus 1 now. So plus 1 equal to, and then do raise to this. Now problem is after pressing raise to, I don't know what is 5 into 365. So let's see how to do it. So don't miss out the calculator keys. So after you get that, press raise to, but now you don't know raise to kitna karna because you don't know 5 into 365 is equal to how much. So after you press raise to, you have to press bracket open, 7 ke upar wala key bracket open, press 5 into 365 bracket close, and then press equal to. Okay, I repeat this, press 12% divided by 365 equal to, then add that plus 1. Okay, so this is done. 1 plus 12% by 365 is done. Press raise to, open the bracket, 5 into 365, close the bracket, press equal to, and then finally multiplied by into 10,000. Okay, so the daily compounded interest works to 18219, higher than it was earlier. Okay, this is not compounded interest, sorry. From that, you have to subtract the principal. So the compounded interest is 8219, higher than 8167. So as the compounding frequency increases, the interest that you will get will increase. So annual compounding time it was annual compounding time it was 7623. This one. When compounding was made quarterly, it increased to 8061. Then when it is made monthly, it increased to 8167. Now it has increased to 8219. Now, practically, we will never reach to daily compounding. Okay, but theoretically, yes, we can have a daily compounding. Practically also possible here, but banks don't offer daily compounding. So theoretically, we could do daily compounding. And if we could do daily compounding, then we can do even minute-wise compounding. Okay, or we can do second-wise compounding or continuous compounding. Okay, by the way, in one day, there are 24 hours. Each hour has 60 minutes. That means one day has 1440 minutes. So in a year, how many minutes are there? In a year, there are 365 days. Each day has 24 hours and each hour has 60 minutes. So if I have to actually calculate, it will be 365 into 24 into 60 minutes. So that R would be divided by that, whatever number that you got right now, and N would be multiplied by that. Okay, so this would be minute-wise compounding. You could do a second-wise compounding also. Mathematically, a second-wise compounding is called as continuous compounding. Okay, where compounding would be done continuously. Basically, every second interest would be calculated, principal mein add hoga, and then for next second, the interest would be calculated on increased principal. Okay, तो second का जो interest होगा वो principal में वापस add होगा, and on increased principal third second का interest would be calculated. Then similarly third second का interest would be added to the principal, and then on the increased principal fourth second का interest would be calculated. Mathematically, this second-wise compounding or continuous compounding is possible with the help of some mathematical tricks. So there's a mathematical formula which is derived with the help of some limits, etc. So we're not going into the mathematical proof of that. We'll directly come to the conclusion that if there is a continuous compounding, again theoretically, practically कोई bank continuous compounding देता नहीं है. But if there is a continuous compounding theoretically, then how much would be my interest? Let's see that. So we have seen the annual compounding, quarterly compounding, monthly compounding, daily compounding, and now continuous compounding. So practically banks do this one, and this one. They don't do this one and this one in the practical life. You don't see this. Okay. So in the case of annual compounding, the final value was equal to principal into 1 plus r raised to n. So this is how the final value was calculated. Okay. In the case of quarterly compounding, you divided this r by 4 and multiplied the n by 4. So this is what you did in quarterly compounding. In monthly compounding, you divided this r by 12 and you multiplied the n by 12. In daily compounding, you will divide r by 365 and you will multiply n by 365. Okay. In the case of continuous compounding, listen to me carefully. The formula p into 1 plus r raised to n changes to p into e raised to rn. Okay. The formula p into 1 plus r raised to n changes to p into e raised to rn. All right. Now what is this e? This e is a special symbol in the mathematics. Say you have this symbol in the mathematics. Iska value everyone knows. Let me know the value in the chat section, please. What is the value of this symbol? What is the value of this symbol? What is it called as, and what is the value of this symbol? Yeah, 22 by 7. Rasika, Neil, Elston. It's 22 by 7, which is 3.1428. Where see, this E has a value which is called as 2.71. Okay, that's the value of E, 2.71. Okay, so principal. In our example, the principal was 10,000. into e raised to, what was R? 12%. And what was the N? 5 years. Okay, so this was our R and N. R was 12%, N was 5 years. So this is principal into e raised to R was 12% and N is 5 years. So let's see how to do it. Please don't miss out the keystrokes. Okay, be very careful. Be completely attentive. What you will do is first you will do this 12% into 5. Okay, you'll do this 12% into 5. So let's get the calculator and let's press that 12% into 5. So let me do that 12% into 5. So 12 percentage into 5 equal to. Everyone did that? 12 percentage into 5 equal to. Okay, everyone got the 0.60 on the calculator? Okay, just raise hand if you got that 0.60 on the calculator. Just want to see how everyone got that 0.60 on the calculator. This is not a classroom, so I can't see you, so you can nod head. So the only way you can respond to me is by raising the hand. So if you got the 0.60 on the calculator, please raise hand, guys. Jinal, Dev, did you get it? Please raise hand, guys. Sejal. All right, good. All right, so now once you get that, now you have to do the E of that. So now this is done. So now you have to do E of that. So let's see how to do E of that. So to do E of that, you have to press second, the orange button second, and press ln. Okay, I repeat, you have to press second and ln. So I'll repeat it, 12 percentage into 5 equal to. This is what you have done. And after that, you have to press second and ln. This is how you do E. And after that, multiply it by 10,000. So into 10,000. I'll do it one more time. 12 percentage into 5 equal to, this is where you all guys had got it already by this time. I mean, you had come to this step. Uske baad, to do the E, you have to press second and ln. So the E is done now. Uske aage into 10,000. So the final value is 18,221. From that, subtract the principal of 10,000. So the continuously compounded interest is 8221. It won't be very different from the daily compounding. Let's see. Daily compounding was 8219. 2 रुपए ज़्यादा मिल रहा है. Okay, कोई ज़्यादा difference नहीं है 8219 और 8221 में. Okay, let me see whether you understood it or not. Let me just take a poll whether you understood it or not. Don't raise hand. Don't raise hand. If you're not understood, then raise hand and mark it as a no in the concept clear. All right, good. Every one of you understood. Anyone not understood, please mark no and raise hand so that I can explain you by enabling your audio. Rohan, that's a step. Second ln is a step to do the E. Rohan is asking me, why did I do the second ln? Okay, Varad, where are you stuck? Let me know, Varad. Which step did you didn't get it?
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah.
Sir, after 12% into 5, I didn't get.
Okay, so again, take your calculator and tell me, are you done with 12% into 5? So I'm doing it for you, 12% into 5. Okay, 12 percentage into 5 equal to, are you done with this? Say yes or no?
Sir.
Okay. Uske baad you have to do E of that. For E, you have to press second and ln. Did you get that 1.8281? 1.8221?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right. Uske aage into 10,000, so press into 10,000. So did you get this now?
yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, from that subtract 10,000.
Yes, I got it.
Subtract 10,000, then you'll get the interest of 8221. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Okay, just to test, I would want you to calculate and tell me the answers of these two questions. ICICI is offering me 5% per annum ka interest, but they are doing quarterly compounding. Okay. And SBI is offering me 4.8% ka interest, but they are continuously compounding. Okay. And there is a Punjab National Bank, which is offering me 4.9% ka interest, but they are doing daily compounding. Okay. I want to open a FD for 7 years and I want to deposit 10,000. So 10,000 का 7 years का FD मुझे करना है. Which bank I should choose? Is it ICICI, which offers me highest interest rate? But please hold on, उसका interest का compounding है quarterly. So should it be SBI? But SBI तो interest तो काफी कम है, 4.8% है. But good thing is doing continuous compounding. Or is it like Punjab National Bank, which is offering a middle wala interest rate, but it's doing daily compounding? So let's see. Principal 10,000 into 1 plus R. R for the ICICI is 5%, and raised to N, I'm opening 7-year FD. Okay, so 10,000 principal into 1 plus R, that's 1 plus 5%, and raised to N, that would be raised to 7. But this is quarterly compounding. Okay, in a year, how many quarters are there? Let me enable someone, because this is a little boring when I have to talk to myself. Okay, Anmol, can you tell me in a year how many years? In a year, how many quarters are there?
So there are 4 quarters.
Good. So what will you do?
Divided by 4 into 4.
Complete divided by 4 or only 5?
No. 5% divided by 4
Good.
and 7 into 4.
Good. All right. So let's do it. Can you tell me the steps?
First, you will divide 5% by 4.
So 5% divided by 4. Great. Equal to? Press equal
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. Plus 1.
Good. Plus 1. Equal to. Don't forget equal to also.
Yeah. And then you press y raised to x.
All right. And 7 4s, everyone knows it. So 7 4s are
28.
28. So raised to 28.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Into
then
the principal value.
into
that is
principal
10,000.
10,000. Okay. And then subtract the principal also, because we are interested in the interest amount. So
Yes.
subtract the principal also 10,000. All right. Everyone got that 4160. So over here, I'm going to get an interest of 4160. So thank you, Anmol. Everyone got that? Let me just take a quick poll. 4160 is the interest. Let me just ask you whether you got that 4160. If not, just raise hand, please. Varad, did you miss out something or did you get it? Varad?
No, sir. I'm fine.
All right, good. Okay, so it's lower than once a doubt gets solved. Yes, Dev?
Or in large sum,
Last sum में doubt है. अभी वापस last sum में नहीं जाते. वो
Oh.
continuous है. So keep raising hand. I will tell you in the continuous compounding of this example. Okay. All right. So let's move on to let's say not SBI. Let's move on to Punjab National Bank. Okay. So 10,000 into 1 plus R. That R is 4.9% for Punjab National Bank. And raised to 7 years, because I'm making a 7-year FD. But this time it's daily compounding. Okay, so in a year, we'll ask how many days are there. So in a year, there are 365 days. So we'll divide this by 365 and we'll multiply this by 365. यहाँ पे quarterly था, तो इसके लिए divided by 4 or into 4 हुआ था. This is daily compounding. So in a year, there are 365 days. So we'll divide it by 365, we'll multiply it by 365. So let's see it. 4.9%. So this is 4.9% divided by 365. So divided by 365 equal to, then do plus 1 equal to, then raised to, I don't know what is 7 into 365. So I'll open the bracket, 7 into 365, close the bracket, equal to, then into 10,000. And from that, subtract the principal of 10,000. So the interest which PNB is offering me is 4091, which is lower than what SBI is offering me, 4160. So this is offering me 4091, which is less as compared to SBI. So PNB, I'm not going to choose to invest. I'll do the calculation one more time. 4.9%, that's R, 4.9% divided by 365 equal to plus 1 equal to, raise it to, open the bracket, 7 into 365, close the bracket, equal to, and then into 10,000 equal to. And from this principal subtract, and from this final value, subtract the principal of 10,000, you get interest of 4091. Please let me know, could you manage it on your own or you were taking my help or you haven't understood at all? Good, Meet. There you can calculate that way also, but E ka value is not just 2.71. There are few more decimals also to the E. It's some 2.7172, something like that. So I don't know the exact value of E. It's some 2.71 ke aage bhi kuch decimals hai. Okay, so 24 guys have voted. 3 guys have not voted. I request everyone to please vote so that I would get to know whether you are understood it or not understood it. Okay, you could calculate it on your own. Great, wonderful. All right. And now finally comes the SBI. So SBI के केस में continuous compounding है. So we'll not be able to do the principal into 1 plus r raised to n. We have to do principal into e raised to rn. Okay, this is what we're going to do. The principal is 10,000 into e raised to r. R is 4.8 percentage. Okay, and n is 7 years. Okay, the principal is 10,000 into e raised to rn. R is 4.8 percentage and n is 7 years. So first do that 4.8 percentage into 7. Look on the screen. So again, the PC got hang a bit. Okay, 4.8 percentage. So that's 4.8 percentage into 7 equal to, I repeat, 4.8 percentage into 7 equal to, and then we have to do E. How do we do E? By pressing second and ln. I repeat, 4.8 percentage into 7 equal to, and then press second and ln, and then do into 10,000. So this is the final value, and from that subtract the principal of 10,000. So you get to know the interest rate is the lowest 3993. Okay, so SBI is offering 3993. What happened to my handwriting? 3993. So that's the lowest. So you will not consider SBI. You will not consider Punjab National Bank. You will invest into ICICI because it is offering you the highest interest of 4160. Just want to check whether you could manage that continuous compounding on your own. Could you manage that? Let me know in the poll. Saptarshi, you put something in the chat section. Saptarshi, is it clear? Could you get that? 3993? Saptarshi, please unmute.
I did.
All right, good. Please vote, guys, so that I should know whether you're getting on. All wonderful, great. All right, so this was the main thing about TVM. Okay, so this 5:44, I have a lecture at 6 p.m., but maybe I can do something, or okay, let me not do it. So this was part 1. Let's make it 3 parts. So this was a part 1 of the financial calculator. I was thinking about doing 2 parts, but let's make it 3 parts. So because I went a little slow, I thought this will be over by around 5:25, then I would take another topic, but it took 5:45, it took 20 more minutes. Fine, so we'll make it 3 parts. So this was a part 1. Part 2, I'll take it on coming Saturday, and part 3 on the coming Sunday. Saturday and Sunday will keep the same time, 4:30 to 5:45. Okay, so next Saturday, coming Saturday and 2nd Jan, and then the 3rd Jan, we will finish the foundation to financial calculator. All right, so this was part 1, part 2, part 3 in the coming week. All right, any